Hi, we come now to searching elements with CSS selectors. We'll talk about tag name, searching by tag name, by attribute, by class, and by ID. Let's see them one by one. First of all, it's with tag name selector. So the tag name will be equal to soup.select1 if you want to select only the first item with a P element and an anchor element inside this P element, and then you have to print it. Let's do it in Jupyter Notebook. So, for example, if you want to select this paragraph, inside this list item and inside this UL item or UL element, we go to Jupyter Notebook and we will say element equals soup dot not find here but select one, and we said it's a UL and then an LI and then a P element. And then let's print this element. Let's run it. Let's go down. And so this is the paragraph that we wanted, the Bardo Museum located in Tunis. So let's go back. And this is the paragraph. We have done it well. And if you want to show just the text, of course, as usual, you can write here dot text, and the result will be just the text. Let's move now to the second type of CSS selector, and this is the class selector. In this case, you will use the dot and then you write the class name. So for the class, you write the dot before you write the class name. Let's try it. So for the class name like this one, museum list, let's copy it. And we will write element1 equal to soup.select1, and then we will write dot and we copy the class name and we will print element1. Let's see this. And as you see, it's showing us all the items inside the UL element. And now for the ID selector, we use the hash symbol to find an element with its ID. So here for the dot select and dot select one, it's like find and find all. Find is for one element and find all is for all the elements. Select is to find all the elements with a certain ID or a certain class name. So let's try this ID, copy it back to Jupyter Notebook, and we will write element2 will be equal to soup.select. Let's try select. The output of select will be a list and not one variable. So for that, you cannot apply the dot text. Let's try it to show you. So I will write this symbol and paste this ID and print element2 dot text. Let's run it. As you can see here, we have an error. It has no attribute text because, as I told you, the output is a list. So you can't apply the dot text. If we change here to select one and rerun it, so there is no trouble, and this is with the ID that we choose, National Museum of Carthage, and this is the ID we have chosen. So this is the difference between select one and select. For the select, you can't apply the dot text because it's a list. Let me show you here. If I remove that and I say select, Control Enter, and look here, it's a list. It's a list of items. And the final CSS selector is the attribute selectors. So you will write the attribute between brackets. Let's try it. So in VS Code, we can look for the href attribute. So element 3 will be equal to soup.select, and here we write href and then print element 3. Let's run our code. Sorry, here I forgot the quotes. Let's run it. And this is the list of all the anchor tags with href attribute. So this was for finding elements with Beautifulsoup. If you want to see the visuals I used in those lessons, you can just download it from the resources below. Thank you for your attention and see you in the next lesson.